Welcome to Riverwalk Talks, episode 4. This is your host, Noitalumis. We have a moderate breeze out here. I'm at Penn Treaty Park, and I thought it would be a beautiful day out. The sun was shining. I got out of work and said, wow, no one was expecting a day this beautiful. So by the time I got out here, the wind is pretty crazy. So here I am. Today is March 20th. This is your host, Noitalumis. Welcome back to Riverwalk Talks. We have a moderate breeze today. It is 4 Beauforts on the Beaufort scale. I don't know if you know about that, but it's the best way to gauge the wind. And what makes this show beautiful is the water, but it also makes this show windy because there's nothing to break the wind. And as you can see, we just got wind gusts coming in, going right through the Ben Franklin Bridge and just hitting us. So we are going to stand out here for a little bit more and see if anyone can weather the storm. Maybe I need to be out here on a calmer day, but this is March Madness and I'm trying to be the calm in the storm out here. Just embracing it. That wind is beautiful. It's great. I appreciate it. It's good energy. Okay. Why don't I answer, since I have no one to interview, why don't I interview myself and answer the questions that I've prepared for episodes 4 through 6. I'm thinking that for the first 3 episodes, if you've watched, thanks so much for watching. With the first 3 episodes, all 4 questions have been the same. And I want to rotate that every 3 episodes. So every 3 episodes, we will get 3 new questions. And the 4th question, what advice you have for our viewers, that is always going to stay the same because the guest is always going to change. I feel like that is a great mark to end on, a great question to end on, because everyone has advice for some people. And a lot of the times we already know the advice we need to hear, but hearing it from someone else, it makes a world of difference. So question number 1, what superpower would you want? And what superpower do you already have? Great question. The superpower I would like to have is the ability to convey thought and experiences and understanding, whereas through touch. So basically how that would work is any experience, any understanding that I have, this is a tricky superpower because I feel like it sounds like a superpower for like, I want to do good with it, but I feel like it could end up doing a lot of bad if it touches the wrong people, and it'll be too much to handle for a lot of people. But it's my heavy answer. I'll give a light answer after. My heavy answer for what superpower would I want is the ability to convey understanding through touch. And this would work as if I shake someone's hand, everything they know and understand, I know and understand. And now the next person's hand I shake, everything that I know and understand would be 2 people's worth. And that third person would get 2 people's worth of understanding. And the next person, it would be 4 people's worth. And eventually it would just bridge the ignorance and the lack of understanding that most people have because they haven't lived another day in someone's shoes. So basically this power, it would allow the feeling of living in someone's shoes or their experience, their lived experience, to be transferred into another. And I feel like once you start getting to higher numbers, it's either like we're all going to have a collective understanding that we all agree upon, or it's going to go completely wrong because so many people understand so many different things. And it's like eventually, this is a good plot for a movie. If there's any writers out there, feel free to use this, free of use. Once it keeps spreading and conveying the thoughts, it's weird talking to myself and all these people walking by, but hey, here we are. So once they keep spreading the thoughts, after like a certain limit, it's going to be like, I don't want to use this anymore because I feel like it's doing more harm than good. So at the beginning, it would be doing amazing help. But it seems like something that the more I think about the power, could, even if you tried to be used responsibly, could end up in a way where it hurts people. That's the last thing I want to do. I'm here to help. So my light answer for what superpower would I want is teleportation. What superpower do I already have? I would say that is communication and self-expression. As you see me here filming the show, as you see me with my music creations and the books that I've put out, that is something that I really love, and it's my medium of helping the world. So my second question, and 1 second, we're going to stop for a second. Hi, would you like to be a guest on our show? It's called Riverwalk Talks Philly. We do 4 questions in about 4 minutes. We're filming episode 4 right now. All right, and we're going to pause this video because we got our first guest. Awesome, no worries. All right, welcome back. This is episode 4 of Riverwalk Talks with your host, Noitalumis. I'm here with Clay and Katie. How are you today?
Awesome.
Good. How you doing?
Awesome.
Great to hear. Thanks for stopping by. I know it's a moderate breeze out, but we're hanging in there. So I'll try to make this quick, so because we do have that water chill. What superpower would you want? And what superpower do you already have?
You're right.
For superpower, be really cool to fly. I know it's basic, but I'm so sick of traffic. You know, just zooming over everything would be real nice. So
Sure.
I'll say flying.
Which one do you already have?
Oh, which one do I already have?
You can answer it about each other too, if that makes it easier. If that.
Ooh, that's a good caveat. She's got an amazing gift of being able to make anybody smile.
Sweet.
Great superpower.
I would say my superpower would have to be invisibility. Also kind of basic, but it would be fun to just like walk around and people watch without having to make eye contact.
Sure.
And your superpower would just be having the kindest heart to everyone, even, you know, when people may not deserve it. It's very sweet.
Great powers. Question number 2. What do you love most about Philly?
Music scene. Music scene down here is so loving. There's so many cool artists, bands, groups in general. It's one of the hottest scenes, and anybody who isn't a part of it should definitely be a part of it.
Honestly, same. It's pretty awesome.
Nice. What genre of music do you guys like? Or just all are pretty welcome?
Yeah, pretty much all of them.
Very
He's
nice.
in a band, 2 bands called Saturday Corngore and Altruistic Vision that play in Philly all the time, and they are really awesome.
Wasn't gonna plug them, but thank you.
Yeah, of course. When's your next show coming up?
Actually, next Friday we got one. I don't know if that's in Philly. That's somewhere else. 27, the 4th of April, we're playing at the Nail over in Ardmore.
Nice. The 4th of April at the Nail in Ardmore.
Yeah.
Be there, be square.
Yep. Be there or be square. Question number 3. How do you move forward when the past is all you've known?
You just wake up every morning knowing that you feel a little bit lighter than you did the day before, and just take every day as a fresh new opportunity and tell yourself that even when you don't believe it, because that's when you need to hear those words most.
That's great.
A lot of things can happen in life, positive or negative, but the way that you see to the end of it is the way that you're going to experience that, and the way that it changes you, whether it be a positive or negative outcome. You got to make that choice.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that. Question number 4. What advice would you have to our viewers?
Love each other and love this planet. You know, everybody around us is the same. We're all going through different Sorry, I don't know if I can curse. Different stuff. And, you know, at the end of the day, you just got to realize that, you know, you never know what anybody else is going through. So, you know, get some compassion, turn around, you know, someone's being rude in traffic or whatever, let it go. You know, maybe they're having a bad day. You got to make your day any worse.
Take a deep breath. It's like,
Exactly.
You don't know if they got a pregnant woman in the back, or, you know, they're rushing to the hospital for something, or maybe they're late for work and they can't risk getting fired, and maybe they kind of have to be a jerk on the road. But they're putting themselves in that position. But at the same time, you can put yourself in the position to just take a deep breath, let it pass, like water under the bridge.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, I'd say the same. That was beautiful. That was lovely. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been Riverwalk Talks Philly. Clay and Katie.
Bye, guys.
All right. So long story short, I did it. I defied the odds. I got a guest on this windy, beautiful day, which is amazing. I surprised myself. If I probably would have said the odds of getting a guest out here with this wind, it probably would have been low. But Clay and Katie were nice enough to stop by. And thank you so much for being on the show. So I doubt I'll get another one, but every time I doubt the universe, I'm always surprised. So we're going to roll back into the interview of me answering the questions, as every 3 episodes are going to have 3 different questions that rotate. And I feel like I owe it to the viewers to answer those questions instead of just asking them to random people. So question number 2, what do I love most about Philly? I'm going to say the people. The people here are awesome. Everyone I've met on the show has been a joy to talk to. I've learned at least one thing from every single person. And in the scenes that I've been working at, my coworkers are great. My neighbors are great. Everyone is great. I'm happy to be here, and it's great to connect with other people. I love nature, and I have the best. I'm so grateful, so blessed. I have the best of both worlds here, where I get this nature along the Delaware River, but I'm on the outskirts of the city of connection and city of liberty, Philadelphia, city of brotherly love. Question number 3. Question number 3. What is question number 3? I just made these questions the other day and just wrote them down today. But it'll come to me. Question number 3 is, how do you move forward when all you've known is the past? I think the things are set in motion, and the present and the future is resonance of the past. So because all we've known is the past, that is the reason why we move forward in resonance of that. So it's not about discarding our past or ignoring it, but living in response of it. It's such a beautiful day. I know there's a little wind, but phenomenal out here. I'm really glad that I got out here, and I'm going to enjoy being inside so much more now that I got out here and braved the wind, braved the elements, got the one interview for today. We still got 4 more on the agenda. So we will see if that is a possibility. But as time goes on, it gets darker, it gets windier, and we even got some rain later. So not only are we against the clock, not only are we fighting the light, but we are also fighting the rain clouds and the elements. And the setup I have here is extremely susceptible to water damage. So if you want to see this show filmed in the rain, feel free to, on the website, noitalumis.net/riverwalktalks-Philly. You'll see a little support button in the bottom left. If you press that, any donation is so appreciated, and that'll help upgrade this setup to be fully waterproof. My phone's already waterproof, but I have a SSD and a wireless mic receiver that are hooked up to 2 USB hubs on this tripod. And the biggest feedback I get from everyone is, why are you holding that pole? Or the stick is so distracting. But due to local Philly ordinances, it is actually, if I were to set the tripod down and film myself from a distance, that would technically constitute as a set. And I would need a media permit, I would need insurance, and I would have to pay per diem per hour of filming out here. So, you know me, I'm a pretty clever guy. To get around all that stuff, I am holding everything by hand. That way it is a handheld setup. So it technically does not require a media permit. So if you were wondering why I have this giant pole, that is why. There's a lot of fishermen that come to this park, and I feel like this thing is almost, I feel like I'm carrying a fishing pole when I'm going out here, but I'm not fishing for fish, I'm fishing for conversations. So welcome back. This is Riverwalk Talks, episode 4. I'm your host, Noitalumis. I'm here with John. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, enjoying the lovely weather.
Very nice. I take it you're just on a run?
Yeah, correct.
Very nice. How long do you set out to do that for? Any certain distance, or you go kind of a certain route, or just time?
Yeah, I'm not like very competitive about it. I probably ran like 2.5 miles tops. So it was just like a light, get out of the house, kind of get some fresh air kind of day.
2.5 miles more than me.
Yeah.
It's not a competition, but you don't have to set out to do a certain amount, but just being out here, even on a windy day and showing up, that's what matters.
No, definitely. Yeah, I feel fantastic now.
And now the sun's out a little bit, so gracing our presence. So question 1 for you. What superpower would you want? And what superpower do you already have?
Oh. What superpower I'd want? So I would love to fly. I've actually thought about that question a lot. So my favorite cartoon show is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Amazing show.
Loved the air nomads and just their whole philosophy and their power of being able to fly. It's a non-aggressive superpower. It just literally gives you freedom, and you fly like birds and go up in the clouds. So that's what I would choose. What superpower I already have? That's a tricky one. I don't know. I would say I've been lately getting pretty good at empathizing with people close to me that I love. Just trying to understand what they're going through, and be there for them and listen to them and talk to them. Yeah, I go with that.
Very nice. And back to Avatar: The Last Airbender, like you mentioned, that's kind of like, I feel like the Air Tribe is very like compassionate, and they empathize with people. And if you've seen the cartoon, they were the first ones to get wiped out.
Yeah, man, that's a good point. Yeah.
But I feel like they were like the most like compassionate or understanding, because they were like free flowing like the wind,
Yeah, they're pacifists. They live one with nature. They meditate. I mean, I'm not like too much of a meditator, but definitely their whole philosophy to life of peace and kindness and love. I think it's a journey for everybody to try to get there as much as you can. And I vibe with that a lot.
Certainly. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So question 2 for you. What do you love most about Philly?
So disclaimer, I don't live here. I live in Baltimore, Maryland. I do come here a lot because my girlfriend lives here. So
very nice.
What I love the most about Philly is the fact that my beautiful girlfriend lives here.
Great answer.
Yeah, so I can share this quote with her.
I was about to say, I was like, that's a layup for you,
Yeah,
mentioning her. So yeah, there you go. She's a lucky girl. Yeah. Question 3. I just wrote these questions the other day. This is episode 4, and so the first 3 had 3 or 4 questions, and I asked them every single episode. But now in episode 4, I wrote new questions. So I have them written down. I'm trying not to look at it, but I'm doing the best job I can with memorizing them. So question number 3 for you. How do you move forward when the past is all you've known?
Do you mean, can you expand on that? Do you mean like how do you not get kind of stuck in the past?
Yeah.
That's a good question too. I think it's about trying to figure out what's the best mindset for you right now. That you can very well choose to get stuck in the past if if it's all you've known that's shown you something negative or bad. You can focus on that and approach the future with fear and uncertainty. But if you choose in that moment that, hey, that, it's going to be different, or I'm going to make it better, that will literally encourage you and push you to make that change. I think you are what you think. Your emotions become your vibrations, and that definitely impacts your moment now and later. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's this like, this is a practical way of thinking. If you really do think by it, it's not some like wishy-washy, like, oh, think positive. It's like, no, literally, if you think that way, it will positively impact you. And if you do that enough, you will notice that. And then at that point, it's just a matter of choice. Like, I can't always achieve that either. It's like, sometimes I definitely get stuck in the past, but at some point I like snapping out of it and then realizing like, well, that's not what's going to be helpful right now. So I either change or not.
There you go. And back to your first answer, shout out Aang at the Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Yeah, yes, sir.
He had to do a lot of that where his whole tribe got wiped out, all his loved ones. He woke up 1,000 years, I think it was 1,000 years or something later, and everything he knew and loved was gone. And he had to understand his past and not like bury it or neglect it, but act as in resonance of it. And, it's like you said, it's like we get to choose our present mindset and our future moving forward. And yeah, just a beautiful answer. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, one last question for you. What advice would you have to our viewers?
If you haven't already done so, you should go watch Avatar: The Last Airbender.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks. Go watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. How do you feel about the live action series that came out?
I don't love it,
Yeah.
but it's not a knock on anything about the show itself. It's very difficult to do these spin-offs. The original work of art is a cartoon done in a very specific way, right? Even the sequel cartoon Korra that came after it, I didn't love it a whole lot. It's still cool to see a similar medium kind of in that same I just made this whole interview about Avatar.
No, it's all right. Totally all right.
But yeah, it's just difficult. I mean, yeah, to me, the original one is a complete masterpiece in storytelling and character development, in blending of all these like Southeast Asian cultures, martial arts, architecture. Like the creators really, they go into all that.
The
like
world building,
the way the world building, like nothing is done kind of by accident. The way the buildings are shaped, they take inspiration from Buddhism, from like Thai architecture, temples, and all sorts of stuff, and the fighting styles, and how that blends in with the elements.
Even like the Great Wall of Ba Sing Se, I feel like is like a tribute to the Great Wall of China.
Yeah, right.
As well.
Yeah, for sure. I take it you like it too.
Yeah, I watched it as a kid. And I watched it just watching whatever. It was before streaming was available. So I watched whatever episode was on whenever. And it was always like, wow, this is a great show. But what you said about the reruns, I feel like they can never capture it or do it justice. But I appreciate them for what they are, because I feel like it allows people to get their feet wet with the show. And it's like, if they like the reruns, like you should go watch the original, because it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, not the reruns, but the remakes. And the same thing with One Piece. I had a coworker recommend One Piece to me, and I started watching it. And it's like 3,000 episodes.
It's so
or
long.
something. So it's like the fact that they make a Netflix season of 10 episodes, and they probably cover maybe 800 episodes in the 10 episodes. Yeah. It's like, it's not as good as the original, but who has time to go watch every single episode in the original? And even with the original Avatar series, they did it in books, and I feel like that was phenomenal how they did that. But there's like so many side stories and side angles and so many points of view, and yeah, they just build the world so phenomenally that the remakes have, with the short attention spans that we have today and the budgets that they have to do it, and they say, yeah, let's make it live action, which is nice, but when you have, a dedicated artist who's drawing everything and the storyline, it's like, that's why anime, I feel like, is slept on, because they can do so much more with such a little budget.
Yeah,
that all they need is the dedication.
It's just
If
imagination.
the heart's in it, and the imagination, can take it to a whole nother level. And then when you try to replicate what they did with that imagination and put it with cameras and live action and stuff, it's never going to do it justice.
I've also a question for you. I've never watched One Piece. Obviously, I've heard a lot about it, but what do you think?
I think it's great. Yeah. I probably watched way too many episodes. I'm going to expose myself here, but I maybe watched 500 or 600 episodes, and they're only they're 20-minute episodes. They're very short. But after a while, I'm just like, it's way too much. Like just the sheer volume, knowing that I have another 1,000 or 2,000 episodes to get to the end. But I started watching the new season on Netflix. They just came out with the season 2. And so to put it in comparison, I've watched the first season and maybe 3 episodes of the next season. And I'm past the point of where I was in the anime.
Oh, wow.
So it took me, I guess maybe 12 hours of runtime in the live action show to get where it took me months.
I mean, it's just infinite background show at that point, right?
Yeah.
It just never ends.
Pretty much. But I'll go real quick into the concept of it, but it's about a world of pirates, and pirates are bad people. And the main character, he says, I want to be king of the pirates. And what he does is he goes around helping people, and he's a genuine, authentic guy, and who he leads his crew from his heart. He trusts his gut, and he doesn't do wrong to people. He helps people everywhere he goes. And long story short, by knocking down the obstacles that are put in his way, he ends up getting this crazy bounty of $30 million, the highest bounty. He's the most high wanted, the pirate with the biggest bounty in the seas. And you meet him, and he's just this kid with a dream, and he just wants to help people and become king of the pirates. A lot of people think, pirates are bad people, but it's this guy who has a dream, who wants to be good and be the king. So follow your dreams.
Yeah, man. Wow. Good story.
Yeah. All right, well, this has been an anime edition of the Riverwalk.
Yeah, right.
Interview 2. Thanks for stopping by with the Windy Breeze.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great conversation.
Yeah. Have a great rest of your day out here, and enjoy the rest of your run.
You do the same. Thanks.
Yes, thanks so much. This has been Riverwalk Talks Philly, episode 4. Thanks so much for watching.